YouTube, what is up, my BBossBaddies and my Batman fellas? It is your girl Bosana and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about 99.9% of women crave men who do this. So this video is actually like a little bit of everything, because with the craving, it's not always just let's go straight to the bedroom or like, let's just kick it in a room, just me and you. It's not always that, you and I mean, right? It could also be that you guys just started talking, she noticed you, and that time, that night, maybe that evening almost, or it could be the morning. Y'all could have been at a little brunch, she could have went out to eat with her friends at a little get-together. You were there with your friend, she was there with hers. They are mutual friends, and then boom, happens like that. Y'all meet each other. So ultimately, I'm going to try to give you guys different types, like feelings and then body and all that. All right, you guys. So have you given this video a big thumbs up? Go ahead and do that. All right, y'all. And lastly, I can't forget this. I kind of sometimes forget to say it, but I do have 2 other channels. So go ahead and check them out. They're down below in the links in my bio and comments. Let's get started. Y'all ready? First thing that I have for 99.9% of women crave these things is a man that can lift her up. Now, this might be so simple. This might be, oh, really? Like, I can probably lift her up, or maybe if I put more weight on me, I can lift her up. But this is really kind of just that feeling that a woman gets. It's a rush feeling. Any man can ultimately do it. That's the best part about this point right here. You guys can, even every single point I actually have written down, any man can do it. So let's not focus about how, you can't please her in other ways or do things for her that makes her feel, hey, like I like this or I want more and things like that. When you can just lift her up, it shows so much strength that a man has. And obviously that strength is going to be held in your arms. Now, if you guys don't remember in my other videos, let me say one. I remember for sure talking about arms being such a huge like thing that women like or something like that. Like it's more on the huge side instead of smaller, because women just love looking at a man and seeing that type of masculine side of them. And we're going to talk about masculine with the next point. But for me to wrap up with this point, when women were looking at that and seeing that, it's exciting, right? Like I was saying, so it became, or not, it has became something, but this whole idea when a woman sees a man and it's like, you can do these other things that not every man can do, it makes you look more bigger, more alpha than you are. So I'm just trying to say that maybe you might be on the smaller side. You could even be on the way bigger side. That's possible. But the bigger problem is if you can't actually have the strength to lift her up, she will start looking at you as a weaker man. Now, it's not necessarily saying, that's why I said weaker, not to say that she will say that you're weak. And sorry if I'm sweating a little bit, y'all. Once again, I always leave the heat on right before I'm about to film, and then I forget to put on the AC sometimes. So whatever, we're here. So I want to wrap up, and I just want to close off to say, with this whole being able to lift her up, it's not nothing that you have to be stressed about. Just go put on some weight on your arms. And when I was telling you guys about the arm thing, when you put that weight on your arms, it's gonna do things to you. And we're gonna talk more about it at the end, because this is actually closer to my end point. But last thing is that, you guys, if you can lift her up, you will most definitely be a guy that she can remember. And I gotta be honest with you guys, because I want to give you guys as much help as I can. Out of all the guys that I actually hung out with, I've literally had like 1-2 guys. I'm not thinking about it too hard, but I know off the bat it was no more than 2. And it wasn't something that guys really run to do. And that's why it's more exciting if you do it, because first of all, not other guys are doing it. It's probably just you. Some guys kind of might think it's doing too much, it's crazy, but if you feel that way, at least wait until the second time, and hopefully there's a second time. If you want to wait longer, wait until the third time. But that excitement, especially if you bring it from one place to another, so let's say you guys are in an apartment, from the bedroom to the living room back to bedroom, onto kitchen, ooh, counter, yep, okay. And sometimes I might like mumble, or I will stutter, or I won't say certain words, or I'll switch it up because YouTube policies, can't say certain things and right? So that's that. Next point on my list is masculine all the time. but can be vulnerable here and there. Now, this point is the point that I was talking about when I was gonna say, when I was saying the feelings, right? There's going to be a different type of craving. It's not always like, hey, physically this guy has to be masculine, always look masculine. If he's not masculine, then he's not cutting it. Some girls' mentality, of course, is like that, and I don't blame most of them because masculine men are obviously more attractive, right? So now to move on back to this point where you guys are going to be vulnerable sometimes, what happens is a lot of times, a lot of girls will go ahead and, you know, kind of expect this and tell you that they want this from you, right? And so the second that you guys go ahead and be vulnerable, say your stuff, hey, well, I've been through this, or, you know, I don't trust girls, whatever it is that you have to open up about, they once again, and I say once again because I've talked about it 1-2 times, but they once again go ahead and use it against you. So when you have that situation, all that is going to be is a woman looking at you and downgrading who you are. And it might not always be downgrading because maybe that's who you actually are. Maybe you have that much building to still do that you don't have knowledge to, or you might just know. But ultimately, when she's looking at you and she's expecting you to go ahead and open up, she's telling you to open up, she's still ultimately going to end up feeling like you're a weaker man. And that's why I see a lot of alpha guys, you know, guys that are more on the, I'm not having it with girls. They will say that I will not open up to this girl. I will never, ever open up to this girl. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I agree. Now, I'm saying that you do obviously have to get healed, right? Go through the process of just saying, you know what, like, you know, this happens in life and that you got to move forward and let go. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to hold too many grudges and stuff like that and end up being bitter like some of these. Oh, yeah. So, I hope you guys caught what I said. I just don't want to, you know, not say what I'm not supposed to say. So I want to just wrap up and tell you guys that when you're going to be vulnerable, the best way you guys should do it, in my opinion, is going ahead and waiting until that girl is officially your girl. Now, once she's officially your girl, this means that she was acting loyal. Not acting. Let me not put acting. I say acting a lot because we talk about how they act in front, right? But basically not acting, but most definitely showing you by her actions. That's how I wanted to say it. So she's going to show you. She's going to be there for you. She's not going to give you these mixed signals, these mixed feelings, confusion, and all these things. And then after that, you have to wait until you showed her how masculine you are. I know some guys say, I'll never ever be vulnerable. But y'all got to understand, if you ever come across a real wifey woman, you have to get vulnerable. Because those type of women that are at a good place, that are probably healed, hopefully, and that are basically ready to be with a man and treat him like a man, right? Hopefully she's treating you exactly how you want to be treated. Those type of girls, they're not going to be with the games, the childish mind games, and all these things that you see all the time, because it's happening all the time. But her personally, she might not like that anymore. Or there's other girls that grow out of things, right? All these things happen. But that's why I'm saying you always have to be open-minded, but most definitely never be more on that, never be side, of course, of being vulnerable with women, because they could, and they do, right? Use it against you. And absolutely, that's something that I feel like is disrespectful to the max, because it's like, you know, you're at your weakest, or you're being on the weaker side, you're being soft, right? The one time that you as a masculine man is doing that to show her this, you would think that she would simp up to you instead of, you know, her feeling like you're being the simp because you want to tell her stuff that she wants to hear. And last thing I'll just say to wrap up is make sure you guys have your balance. I might do a separate video talking about balance because it's that important, and I haven't on my channel yet. I've just brought up that topic. If you guys do want to see that, let me know. But aside from that, make sure you have your balance, because that's what they're expecting. They'll ask you to start being vulnerable, and then once you start being vulnerable, sometimes it might be too much. Or for her personally, the way she asked you was way too much of her to ask you. Kind of like, hey, well, you know, you're being so cold-hearted with me, or all these stuff that they'll say because they want you to open up, but it's just a trap and you end up doing it way more than you should. So you as a man make the decision to know how much you should and then actually apply that. So it shouldn't be too many times. Okay. Last thing on my list is that is bigger than her. A man that is bigger than her. A lot of women crave this. And I wrote this specifically. I wrote, height will still matter to some girls, but it's about an illusion. So yes, some girls will say, I want the 6 foot, 7 foot type of guys. That's true. That's facts. But here's the thing. if you make her feel away, and because women are emotional, right? I don't want to say nothing too much, but emotional by nature. And I'm saying too much because it's like, oh, some girls will say it's feminist. Some girls will say it's feminism. Some girls will saying it's some girls just being pure feminine. Like, you know what I mean? It's just it's a mix up. But as I was saying with my brackets, right, my quotations. So it's an illusion, and it creates this feeling like, hey, I'm with a guy that is a man. In order to be a man, you have to be masculine, have some sort of masculine in you, right? And that's why, like, sometimes when the guys are the rude one, on the ruder side, those type of guys right there, those are the guys that win with women. And that's because not only, yeah, you're not giving her attention, yeah, you're focused on yourself, but not only that, what's actually happening is you're showing her how masculine you are because you have that control over your feelings. So we can actually go wrap up, well, pretty much soon, because I have one more little thing that I added for this point. And so this illusion thing, it's really just a feeling that she feels. It'll be a great feeling, yes, if you're really a bigger guy, that type of guy that she wants, that height that she wants, that, you know, body weight that she wants, that 250, you know, whatever it is that she wants, that's cool. That's her. But if you don't have that, you don't have to be too worried and concerned about, hey, well, you know what? If I can't deliver this, she's not going to be here for me, or she's not going to want to deal with me. She's not going to crave me. Oh, well. First of all, oh well. But if you are worried about yourself and on your purpose, right, including being in the gym, being healthy, eating healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, all those factors will show and display of who you are. So basically, to wrap up with, the bigger you are, the more that she wants you and she'll crave you. It's ultimately just to say that if she feels like you're really masculine, you're always driving that masculine feeling towards in her, she's always going to be like, yes, like, definitely he is that type of guy. Okay. And the last thing that I have included to this point is someone tall. Okay. But has. Okay. So someone tall, but has, basically not the standard that women want. So let me say it like this. A guy that's tall, right? Someone that's tall, but is lacking in places such as financially, such as emotionally stable, like those type of factors and other factors that really matter to women. Those type of guys that have that going on, oftentimes the height will actually decrease their value. And I know sometimes you guys might feel like, hey, well, if a guy is tall, he's automatically in the safe zone. But that's not true. The only reason why some people will think that, I would think in my opinion, is that because that man is tall, he's doing something with his height. So whether it's ball or whatever else sports that he uses it towards, or other benefits that he has, such as modeling, such as modeling, those type of benefits that these guys will have from having the height, that's what's supposed to come with it. But it also doesn't mean that she can have whoever she doesn't have the other criterias that women require to get with them. You get what I'm saying? So all in all, to finally wrap up, is when you're dealing with women, make sure that you are at a place where you're healthy, being the best that you can. Not every guy is going to want to be bigger, and then not every tall guy is going to get any woman because he's lacking other places. But what you can use is what you can use for yourself. I kind of said it weird, but what you have out there to use it for your own benefits, to simplify it. All right, so I really hope this video was helpful. If it was, give me a huge thumbs up, and y'all will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.